think a darts legend worth over £7.5 million would be living the dream. Endless trophies, flashy cars, money in the bank. But Phil Taylor's story, it's far from your typical rags to riches tale. Because behind the headlines and the highlight reels lies a whirlwind of risk, ruthless decisions, and family fallout. This isn't just about how Phil made his millions, it's about how he spent them and what it cost him. Before the championships, the Bentleys, and the business deals, Phil Taylor lived a life most people wouldn't believe. He grew up in Stoke-on-Trent, in a terraced house that his family bought outright for £100, not per week, not per month, total. The home had no central heating, the toilet was outside, and electricity was shared with the neighbours. By age 15, Taylor was working full-time in a sheet metal factory, pulling in just £9 a week. Then came another glamorous role, making ceramic toilet roll handles for £52 a week. Not exactly the foundation of a future millionaire. Darts, that was just a hobby, but fate had other plans. In his mid-20s, something shifted. A local pub exhibition changed everything. That's where Taylor met Eric Bristow, the darts icon, known as the crafty Cockney. They struck up a friendship, and Taylor started to dream bigger. On his birthday, his wife bought him a proper set of darts. That one gift unlocked everything. By 1988, he'd earned a spot on the England team. Then Bristow made a life-changing offer, a £10,000 loan, with one condition. Taylor had to quit his job and go all in. Most people would have backed out, but not Phil. He took the gamble. Just 2 years later, in 1990, Taylor won the World Championship on his first try, beating Bristow in the final. The prize, £24,000. A small number today, but back then, it was enough to turn the former metalworker into a household name, and he was just getting started. After that win, Phil Taylor didn't just succeed, he dominated. From 1994 to 2007, he reached the final of every single PDC World Championship, losing just 3 times. He wasn't a contender, he was the final boss of darts. The wins came fast, the prize money came faster. In 2002, he hit the first televised 9-darter on UK TV, earning £100,000 in one throw. That was over 6 times the prize for actually winning the entire event. By 2004, he was the first darts player to surpass £1 million in career earnings. But that was just the beginning. Between 2005 and his retirement in 2017, he banked over £300,000 every year from prize money alone. In 5 of those years, he cleared $500,000. By the time he hung up his darts, his total prize money had ballooned to more than £7.5 million. And that's not counting his sponsorships, exhibitions, or investments, which by the way were just as calculated as his throws. Here's what most fans never saw coming. In the early 1990s, Taylor and a group of players formed the PDC to challenge the darts establishment. As one of the founding players, Taylor was offered company shares. Most sold theirs, Taylor didn't. Fast forward to 2017, the PDC bought back over 1,200 shares at £884 each. That's over £1 million. And those shares, almost certainly Taylor's. While others were spending, he was stacking. Quietly, strategically. Taylor didn't chase yachts or nightclubs. He built an empire you could touch. In the early days, he lived modestly in a 4-bedroom house with his wife. But after a stranger once wandered into his home, looking for an autograph, Taylor realised fame required something more: privacy. He moved into a £600,000 gated estate overlooking a golf course in Cheshire. That was only the beginning. Taylor began buying properties in bulk. 16 newly built homes, all paid in full. He bought a villa in Tenerife, a holiday chalet near Blackpool, and multiple homes across England. No loans, no mortgages, just cash. And he didn't stop with himself. He bought houses for his kids, his parents, his in-laws, anyone who supported him from day one. Say what you want about his spending, but Taylor knew how to turn winnings into wealth. While Taylor was frugal in business, he did allow himself some luxuries. He built a garage full of top-tier cars, a Bentley Continental, a Bentley Arnage, a Mercedes S-Class, and a Land Rover. His number plate, D4RTP, and on his driveway, not a statue, not a fountain, a £5,000 mosaic of a dartboard. As time passed, he softened. He traded his gas guzzlers for a Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid, saying he wanted to do right by his grandkids and hated petrol stations anyway. Later he added a Volvo V90 for power and practicality, and for hauling gear, a Mercedes Sprinter van. Not glamorous, but essential. Phil Taylor wasn't just living large, he was living smart. When you hear memorabilia shop, you probably think of dusty shelves and overpriced trinkets. But Taylor's power shop was something else. Run by his daughter, stocked with trophies and signed darts. It was part business, part legacy, and yes, Taylor occasionally worked the counter himself. But his generosity didn't stop there. In 2017, during an exhibition, Taylor met a 6-year-old boy named Jack Weddle, who needed life-saving surgery in the US. Taylor donated £20,000 without hesitation. That same year, he read about an NHS worker whose bike was stolen during a shift. Taylor quietly replaced it. No cameras, no headlines, just a man helping someone who helped others. For all the luxury, there was a side of Taylor most people never saw, the side that gave back. But while his career soared, Taylor's personal life crashed. After 26 years of marriage, he and his wife separated in 2011 and divorced in 2014. He initially offered £830,000. The court ordered him to pay more, much more. He lost 5 properties, including the Tenerife villa, and had to hand over a £780,000 lump sum, £350,000 worth of rental properties, £149,000 from his pension. At the time, his known assets were about £3.4 million. In one legal ruling, a massive portion of that vanished. The emotional fallout was even worse. In the years that followed, Taylor reportedly cut 2 of his daughters out of his life entirely. One was living in a hostel, dependent on government support. When asked, Taylor's spokesperson confirmed he knew, but gave no reason for the silence. This wasn't just about money, it was a fracture in the family that never healed. Phil Taylor made millions, built an empire, changed a sport. He made smart investments, gave to charity, bought homes for his loved ones, but he also lost control over his family, his fortune, and in some ways, his peace. His story isn't just a masterclass in wealth, it's a cautionary tale about what happens when life moves too fast, and even legends lose balance. And if you thought this was shocking, wait until you hear about the dart star who had £2 million and lost every penny. Click here to watch that next.